Hi, Anavik. Thanks for coming over my show.
Hi, Chirag. Thanks for having me.
Who are you? What you do? Tell my audience.
So basically, I'm a fitness trainer. I do Pilates also, and I'm a nutritionist also by profession.
hmm And you work as a pet psychologist?
That's not my profession, but
Mhm.
I do help out. I don't work, for money for that. Like it's not my job or something. But
Okay.
it's just basically something that I do. That if someone needs help, or if there are a couple of friends of mine who need some assistance, or someone I know who is in dire need, so I help them out.
Okay. And I read on your bio that you are into Reiki healing as well, animal Reiki healing.
Yes.
So is it related to pet psychology?
Um, so basically, what Reiki healing is healing through energy,
Mhm.
and honestly, it is like pet psychology is understanding animal behavior,
Mhm.
and Reiki healing would be healing a part of uh, you know the pet, if he or she is disturbed. So basically what happens is usually any pain or any injury that the animal has is due to a lot of maybe through a physical factor, like an external factor, or an
Mhm.
emotional factor. So what Reiki healing does is, suppose there's, for example, joint pain. Understanding the cause of the joint pain, if it is not through a physical injury or hurt,
Mhm.
that is, then it is an emotional burden which the animal has, or an emotional turmoil which the animal is going through, or he or she has gone through. So
Mhm.
basically, Reiki healing helps with that healing, that side of healing, where through positive energy, the animal can get in a little more better. Not healed, of course. I would never say negate medical uh, assistance, but yeah, heal through positivity and a lot of uh, good energy.
Okay. And how long it has been you are doing, you are into pet psychology and this healing
It
and stuff?
has, I think almost 2 years now.
Okay,
Yeah,
2 years. And how
approximately
many
2 years. Yeah.
cases? How many cases have you handled so far?
About 3 to 4. As I said, I don't do it as a profession, but
Mm.
if anyone is in need or help, that's what I do.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what made you interest into this? Like, what was the calling to do this, or why did you start doing this?
So basically, my interest in animal Reiki healing and pet psychology is like, I've always loved animals, and I've like had a pet throughout my life. So, but
Mhm.
in the recent years, I've been asked by a lot of my friends to kind of help out in rescue cases, involving dogs, especially. A lot of dogs getting injured, or they meet with an accident, and like a person like me, like I believe a lot in spirituality and the way the world works through energy. This pushed me into Reiki. One of my friend Aishwarya introduced me to Reiki healing, and I had this opportunity to kind of heal myself. When I experienced what it has done for me, like I couldn't possibly keep it to myself, and I wanted to like heal animals in distress, or whatever rescue case that I had encountered. And
Okay.
pet psychology became a part of that process, because like it helps in understanding the behavior of dogs and cats, and why they behave in a certain way, or why they show aggression. So this obviously would help me in understanding the animal better, and that's why it would help me in the healing process. So that's how I transited into getting into like Reiki healing and pet psychology. So
Okay. And
yeah.
any successful case you can tell my audience about, which you have turned the psychology completely upside down of an.
There was one basic instance that I can share, like it is a short one. There was an owner. I would not like to take names, but so the dog would, leave the house in a mess. Basically, they lived in a joint family, and but like that, there was this one owner who would leave the house, and as soon as she would leave the house, the house would be in a mess, because the dog, like, in spite of the dog getting the attention of other family members, and the dog was never left alone, but still when the owner would leave, he would like tear things, pee everywhere in his room, ruin things. So the family insisted on like someone correcting his behavior and understanding why this is happening. Then, like, of course, I made 2 3 visits, and I kind of understood the dog was attached to that particular owner in a very emotional way. And basically that was a rescue dog as well. So she, like, the dog never wanted to be alone, and he was attached to that owner. And as soon as the owner would leave, he would feel lonely. And it didn't matter who else was in the house to give him the same attention and love, because he wanted that person to be there. So that's how it, like, what happened. And then slowly I asked the owner to kind of try and take the pet everywhere they went, try and spend more time with the pet. And of course things have improved. The dog doesn't pee anymore, but yeah, of course there are times when she has to leave the dog home alone, and I've kind of made sure that the dog is not left alone for a long time. So that's
Okay.
one case. Yeah.
Okay. Any other case you would like to tell?
I think this one is the basic case, because there are a lot of, and it's a really long story. It would take me
What
hours.
what my audience asked me on Instagram and
Yeah.
on, they want to understand if animal can get into depression, and with the help of pet psychology therapy or something, can we get them out of depression or something?
Animals, yes. Animals have emotions like
Mm-hmm.
us. They do feel pain. They suffer. They have anxiety. They get depression. They throw tantrums. There are a lot of things that animals go through, and through pet psych. So basically, what pet psychology is, like, most people make fun of it and they don't understand the depth of this concept. But to put it across in the simplest way, it's basically understanding the animal's behavior, and studying why your pet is like afraid or sad or anxiety or has anxiety or depression. um, so yes, it is helpful through pet psychology. Of course, you can understand why the behavior is happening, and of course then you can correct it. If you don't know the reason, then you won't be able to help. So pet psychology, yes, it does help in understanding a certain behavior, and then you can take appropriate steps and measures to correct the behavior.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a case. I'm just giving you an hypothetical case. Suppose
Mhm.
dog is not playing. If someone asked me a similar 9-year-old dog case,
Mhm.
like उसका खुद का वो pet है, so she's asking
Mhm.
me, he doesn't fetch anymore. He's just lying around all the time. But he's eating
Mhm.
well, he's drinking water well, but he's
Mhm.
not, he's dull all the time. So it is affecting the energy of their house. They are saying, she said me that कि घर पे ऐसा ऐसा environment हो गया कि everything is dull around.
Mhm.
So in such cases, what can we do to make the pet active again, or
So
to make?
see, I would not uh, honestly given advice like this, because I've not met the pet. I've not understood what kind of an environment the pet is living in. But I would
Mhm.
just give an appropriate advice through whatever you have told me.
Okay.
Maybe the pet needs change,
Mhm.
something different in the food. Maybe so even animals, they get bored of eating the same thing again and again. And there are cases where the dog is just it'll just sit in one place not doing. Of course it'll eat because it's hungry, but maybe he's bored of the food, maybe he's bored of the routine. Maybe taking time out and going away with the pet, like to a park or a garden, and just being around, and a new environment, a new vibe, that would help.
Mhm.
So yeah, these 2 3 things can help. But honestly, if I had to really look into it, then I would honestly want to visit the pet. I would want to see what kind of environment he or she is living in, and what's going around in the house. So these kind of factors I would want to check before giving do this, do that. But yeah, a basic change food, try and spend time more, go out with the pet, something like that.
Mhm.
That would help. And if she really wants help, she could obviously contact me on Instagram, or like on my email, and I would love to kind of help her out. So
Yeah, I'll ask my audience to connect with you on Instagram.
yeah, sure. Because I can't tell you what exactly to do unless I experience the case myself.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Okay, and I also read in I read in your bio that you are a vegan athlete. So
Yes.
is there any reason behind turning into a vegan athlete, or you have been vegan since your childhood?
No. I've not been vegan since childhood. I used to eat chicken and eggs before, but it's almost like 4 years now that I'm vegan, and it's because of ethical reasons. Basically, I was exposed to that horror that animals go through just because we want something delicious on our plate. So we humans, like, we need to unlearn a lot of stuff and detach from like stupid ideologies and concepts of this world that honestly makes zero sense.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, when I saw those videos and those horrible images and the reality behind what, if you're ordering like chicken tandoori or whatever, but the reality behind like what happens after seeing that, I don't see like chicken as food. I see chicken as an animal, and of course I wouldn't want to kill something just because I want to eat it. So I mean, that's how I went into going vegan. And yeah.
Okay, and do you advise other animals to kept on vegan diet, or they?
No. I don't advise that. I mean, there are a lot of people who do it, but honestly, we can't hamper the cycle that the animals are built for.
Mhm.
Their stomach, their internal system, their teeth, basically their whole, uh, their genes, all these factors. They
Yeah.
do. Yeah. So, like, you can't expect a lion to eat plants the same way you can't, you know, hamper that basically the ecosystem. So I wouldn't suggest a lot of pet foods. Basically, there are tons of vegan options available for pets, but I
Mhm.
would suggest not to hamper with their diet. I mean, we as humans have evolved into understanding what is better for our body and stuff like that, but I don't think animals need to be pushed to that.
Okay, the reason
Yeah.
behind of me asking you this question because I follow a vegan girl on
Mhm.
Instagram, and
Mhm.
she has been asking me continuously, what do I feed my cat? And I
There
tell her,
are actually a lot of if she really wants the cat to go vegan. I mean, have vegan food and stuff like that. There are a lot of cat foods and things like that available in the market for animals. You can even check online. Actually, there are a lot of companies that deliver these kind of foods.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And some other person also forced me to turn my cat on vegan diet, and she sent me like 100 of studies and everything explaining why vegan diet is good. But
Mhm.
I also believe if they are carnivores, they should be eating what nature is providing them.
Yes, exactly. So, I mean, there are a lot of people who believe that they can turn their animals, vegan. But I personally think that we shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah. And any other book or YouTube channels you can recommend to my audience who can learn more about pet psychology or
For pet care, yeah, I mean, for pet care and psychology, I like this book called Inside of a Dog by Alexandra. There is one more called The Genius of Dogs, like by Brian and Vanessa Woods.
okay.
These two, like, I highly recommend because I like these two books a lot.
Any YouTube channel?
I don't really follow YouTube. I rely more on books.
Okay, I will suggest
Yeah.
one. There's a guy called Jackson Galaxy.
Okay.
He's a cat specialist on psychology and food and everything.
Okay.
So he runs a YouTube channel. He runs a TV show as well.
Okay.
TV show named as My Cat from Hell. So basically, he visits house where the cats are not properly trained, or they are scratching their owners and scratching furnitures and everything, and creating a hell out of that place. So he visit there.
Okay, I'll check him out. I mean,
Yeah. So personally, what do you prefer? Like, if I given you a choice, all animals, or you are a dog person or cat person?
I am a dog person, but I love all animals. But yeah, of course, I have 2 dogs at the moment, so I
Oh,
am a dog person. Yeah.
okay. And I'll just go to the questions people asked on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. So someone asked me, what can we do to train an aggressive 3-year-old German Shepherd?
Aggressive in what way? Like, is he naughty? Is he
He's being aggressive toward other people.
biting people? Or, I mean, towards strangers?
Yeah.
You know what I would like to do is I would like to honestly, if there are personal questions, would love to visit the pet and understand, because uh, I wouldn't give any advice just without how the animal is treated and what conditions the animal is living in, and why the behavior I could only tell if once I see the animal. Like, I can't really give an advice otherwise like that. So you could ask them, like, whoever needs like a personal advice for their, I would honestly suggest them meet me with the animal, and I spend some time with the dog and then understand why he is behaving in a certain way.
Okay. Yeah, that's a better option. I will ask them to connect
Yeah.
on Instagram. And
Yes.
if I ask you for top 5 tips for pet care, like for their mental health, not for the physical care. Physical care is very easy, I suppose, but the mental health is important.
See, animals are such simple beings. They do not need anything. They just want attention. They just want love. And you know that's where people nowadays, they don't spend a lot of time with the animal, and then the animal behaves in a certain way, and then there are tons of other reasons why they are behaving. But I would suggest the animal just needs love and attention. Like, honestly, most of the cases are just that. They are not having enough time with their owner. They need that attention and they need that love.
Mhm.
That is the reason most of the pets behave that in a certain way.
Okay. So I think that's about it. You have covered everything which I wanted to ask. And if there is anything more, I will ask my audience to connect with you on Instagram.
Yes,
Are
that
you
will be better.
anywhere else as well?
No, just on Instagram as of now, and my email.
Okay. Okay. I'll write it down your email ID and Instagram ID on the thumbnail, and
Yes.
they will connect with you.
Yes, that's good.
That's about it. Thanks for coming.
Thank